Hello guys, this is KTP Reviews here, back doing another video tech for you guys. And today we're actually at the final episode on my thoughts on the Dragon Ball series. I know this series was pretty good for me to do because I really want to do discussions. I'm glad that I actually got a chance to do that. And now we're here on episode 7, and in this video, as I said on the last video of the problems with Dragon Ball Super, this is the conclusion of the whole entire series as of it now, as it what it is now, and possible what's going to come in the future. So as I go back and look at this whole entire series, as I look at it, as actually it's pretty, it's a good series, of course. And some people say people say Dragon Ball was the best series, and somebody say Z is the best series, or some people even say Super was the best series. And currently, as I look at it, as the series is what it started out to be, as you know, as we go through this, the first series, it was never meant to be like action and intense and superior and fighting. It was more like a funny gag and comedy adventure. Like they goes to go through funny stuff and poke fun and basically do jokes and comedy. That what Dragon Ball was as it was. And of course, Dragon Ball was with Dr. Slump, of course, Arale. So that's pretty shocking about that. And I kind of like people saying Goku and Arale should have been one thing, but it's pretty cool. So as you know, as I go through as Dragon Ball, I never watched the complete series of Dragon Ball. Like I said in the first video episode introduction, I did not watch all of Dragon Ball. Only thing in Dragon Ball that I remember, as I know till this day, is Goku fighting Piccolo at the 23rd tournament, and that was the only thing I actually saw of Dragon Ball, actually. So that's why I kind of don't really remember Dragon Ball that well, because as you know, Dragon Ball Z was the first show to be broadcast on Toonami for Cartoon Network, and after Dragon Ball Z became on Toonami, Dragon Ball came on Toonami. So I was like, as I was watching Dragon Ball Z, and then in the Android Saga, it's showing scenes of Goku as a kid, and I'm like, huh? And then I think Bully Kai 3, older brother, a long time ago, and Goku was a kid in the game, and I was like, there's a kid Goku. And so as I looked at it, and so as I see that, I'm like, oh, Goku was a kid. And and it was in a show called Dragon Ball, because I thought, okay, if this show is called Z, there was another show before it, and I did not know that. And so, yeah, Dragon Ball Z was the first show. I guess that's a fact I could have thrown in the beginning of the Dragon Ball Z video, but Dragon Ball Z was the first show to be broadcast on Toonami before Dragon Ball did. So that was pretty shocking. Like, oh, so there wasn't a show before this. And so yeah, that's how I was like, oh, there's another. So that basically was the truth of that. Like, I didn't know that at the time. And so that would kind of like, yeah. So, but I did not watch all of Dragon Ball. Like, as I got older, I learned the story of it and how it actually was, but not watch the whole entire anime. So yeah, that's as I go through that, you got Z, And basically Z was the show that I actually watched the most because I really wanted to watch the whole series of Z. And so, as I said, as throughout the times I couldn't get a chance to watch the whole entire show because sometimes at that time I used to have bad grades in school. I can't watch TV and stuff unless my grades are good. And so, as you know, as I got all the DVDs, all one free, and watched the whole entire series. And I was actually happy as I watched the whole movie series. And there was stuff I never saw in the show, like I never saw the whole Garlic Jr. saga. People saying it's filler and never happened. As I watched the whole thing, like, wow, I did like this arc. And you know, of course, and then Chuck Hubert voicing Garlic Jr. I liked that so much. And Android 17. So that's how, as I know, like, I, you know, got a chance to watch the whole entire show. So that's pretty nice for me, as now I can watch the whole series now and I don't have to worry about that. So yeah, as I go through Z was my favorite show, of course. And my favorite arc is the Android Saga. And people kind of the Cell Saga. I'm like, no, it's actually called the Android Saga. It's not called Cell Saga. People tend to confuse because Cell's in the arc, and they call it Cell Saga, Cell Game Saga. No, Android Saga. It's actually called Android Saga in the game when you play it. So it's not called Cell Saga. It's Android Saga. So people kind of say Namek Saga, Frieza Saga. Okay, they get confused. Great Saiyaman Saga, no, Majin Buu Saga. So guess how people get confused over the arcs. So my favorite arc is the Android Saga, as my favorite moments in the series, of course. As I look, as I said, Goku doing the Kamehameha beam struggle against Vegeta. That's number one. Number two, of course, is him did the Spirit Bomb on the Frieza. And three, him turning Super Saiyan in the Android Saga. Him doing in the Android Saga, Goku did the instant transmission Kamehameha. Vegeta's Final Flash, of course, and the father and son Kamehameha. To get to the Majin Buu Saga, the Vegeta sacrifice, of course, Super Saiyan 3, and the Spirit Bomb on Kid Buu. GT, it had a lot of moments, as I said, as we'll talk about when we get to that, but I'm in this section of Z right now. So, yeah, so those were the moments in Z that I liked. So, as the moments that always gets me, like, emotional times, of course, Vegeta crying on Planet Namek, that always gets me. And of course, Goku's sacrifice when self-destruct. I was like, oh my gosh, why did that happen? And Vegeta's sacrifice, it was still touching too. But yeah, but those those moments, like Vegeta's crying and dying on Planet Namek and Goku's sacrifice in the Android Saga, always gets me. It's pretty emotional. And then I know that people like say, yeah, Piccolo sacrifice. Yeah, Piccolo sacrifice is almost there too, like that as well, when he sacrificed for Gohan. But yeah, it's pretty emotional for Vegeta crying like that on Planet Namek, and Goku sacrificing to save the Earth again, and that's pretty emotional. It's something that another show doesn't achieve with. Okay, movies. Okay, as a go for Z, Dragon Ball Z movies. My favorite movie. I would choose I guess two movies actually. The first one is I think it is History of Trunks, of course. History of Trunks is my favorite one. I like that one so much. And I think it's the what's it? Let me think. I think it's Return of Cooler. Yeah, Return of Cooler. So it's History of Trunks and Return of Cooler. Those two actually are my favorite movies in the Dragon Ball series. But the other movies are still great too. You know, like as I said in the reviews, some of them I actually do like. I actually like the movies. There were some that I didn't like that, and so yeah, those two are my favorite. History of Trunks and Return of Cooler. I like those two movies. Um, as those are my favorite two movies. Alright, so Z, for me, Z is my favorite series, of course. That was the first show I saw. Um, as you know, by extension, it was my favorite show. As it gets GT, as Dragon Ball GT, it was like I said in this video, in this review. GT could have been expanded more, and it could have been more and people hate on it is because it's not, and it didn't expand it or nothing, and plus it was rushed, and initially it was there just to get money initially, and people still hate on it because of stuff that was in the series, including the transformation of Super Saiyan 4. And people hate on that as well. And for no secret reason, because Super Saiyan 4, as I said, as you know, I forgot to say about the transformations in Z section just a while ago. Well, yeah, Super Saiyan, my favorite form in Super Saiyan is Super Saiyan 3, of course. So that's why I forgot to say for Super Saiyan my favorite form. Super Saiyan 3 is my favorite form. So as I look at Super Saiyan 4, it's basically what I kind of expected to be, because it's their ultimate form. Yes, I'll say yeah, Super Saiyan 4 to me is their ultimate form. What I actually expect them to look like. They are great apes, basically apes. It's, monkeys. And it collages with what they actually, the elements of what they are, not as like seeing their hair blue is so powerful, and no, it's not. So as looking at Super Saiyan 4, it's the design is very different and is very detailed, not a color swap, and that's technically what we'll talk about when we get to Super. So as Super Saiyan 4 to me is this ultimate form, and it's basically people saying it was not drawn by Toriyama initially. It was, but gave to a toy exit, and a person on the staff drew the darn form to put in the show, and people hate on it because someone else put it on the show, but originally it was drawn by Erika Toriyama, but it was sent to the toy exit, and they put it on the staff, and the staff put it on the show. He draw the designs and put it on the show for them. All he did is gave out the story and hand it to them, and they do whatever they want with it. And that's basically what he does. He's really, as we could talk about at the ending of this video, I'll talk about more about it. So yeah, GT to me, it's I did enjoy GT. I did not hate GT. So people that's how stupid people are. They hate on a show because it didn't have a book, and that's the reason. And I wish it was expanded more. That's the reason what was wrong with it. It didn't get expanded. It, like I said in this video, I talked about the how the story could have been, and how it would have been expanded, and how there would have been development and everything, and it would have been pretty awesome. But like I said, it was never meant. It was never expanded. It didn't reach what it would have been. I kind of wish the series could have came out like probably like 2000, because the show was written in 1996. So initially, I say the show I think the show as Dragon Ball Z aired in 1997. I think in 97. Yes, I think it. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z aired in 1997 on TV in America, because in Japan it ended in 1995. So Z would have been aired. Z aired on 1997. I think Dragon Ball came out at the same time as well. Aired in 1997. And let's say GT basically went for the 7 years. So as I'm going to come counting right now, let me see. Okay, so GT would have ended in 2002 in Japan, and then in 2003 when Z ends, it basically it'll basically come right out after Z ends in 2003. And so, and will been expanded more. So as Z is in America now, and throughout that 1997 to 2003, GT is in production in Japan, and that would have been if it had expanded story. So yeah, that's what it's been. So yeah, say for GT, it could have been more, but people hate on it because that's all they do, hate. Now get to Dragon Ball Super. As I said in this review, Super was leaked on the internet. Super was never meant to be a thing probably till this year, in 2018. As I say of it, it was leaked on the internet in 2015, right after Resurrection F in September. Because Resurrection F came out in August, and then this show was leaked in September. And by Japanese kids from Japan, and all these Dragon Ball YouTubers went crazy over it and talk about it and reviewing it now as you see today. So yeah, Super was leaked on the internet, and then at that time it wasn't even released in English dub until 2017. So technically this show should have been out in 2018, and that's how it would have been. But no, it didn't. It was leaked. And as you know now, as right now it's in the Goku Black arc on Toonami now, on Cartoon Network, this show was leaked. It was never meant to be out until this year. And that's basically what was the problem with it. And like I said, this show was nothing but made up stuff. And people saying Toriyama's writing this, he's writing again. Yeah, really, he wrote out all. So let's get to this. Toriyama did do the writing for Super, of course. This story is set to be out after the 10 years between the Boo saga before End of Z. Initially, if this was, they would all mention it at the end of Z, but they don't. So initially this was a made up show. So everything I said in the Super review, you guys can check that out in the Super episode 6 part 1, and the part 2 video of the problems with Super. You can just check that out. I don't have to talk about it in this video. So that is just made up stuff throughout that time span, and they never mention it at the end of Z. And the show is nothing but fan service, and initially it was. Everything about it, as you see through these stories of these arcs, as I said in this review, it's just made up stuff. And originally, as for this, Toriyama is basically not really writing. He draw designs, but originally it's actually Toritaro drawing designs, because Toritaro did designs for GT as well, and Toriyama did as well. People say he never drew nothing in GT, but he really did. And wrote out a story like he did. Wrote out Battle of Gods, wrote out Resurrection F. They were just Resurrection F was a fan service movie. They wrote out a little draft of a tournament thing, and Feature Trunks was a fan service arc. And Nine Weeks Apiece was just good filler, basically good episode filler, and basically was the best part of the whole show. And Universe Survival arc was nothing but a random stuff in the arc, and made up stuff, and fan service stuff in it, including, as I said in this review, the Super Saiyans. Frieza came back again. Characters doing moves from another show, and just basically fan service. And it ends in a kind of a disappointing way, because it didn't explain nothing. All you do, just see it ends, and that's all. Voila, end of story. Bye bye. And that's all it was. Everything in Super was not good. See, it's just, and as I want to tell you now, Super was just to sell products and basically be a cash cow for Toriyama, and that's basically what Dragon Ball Super is. And essentially, as I'm going to talk about it right now, at the end of this, as we get into it. So that's what I say about Super. Everything in it was fan service, made up stuff. In the series, it didn't have no explanation of any characters. They don't explain nothing, don't expand or develop none of the characters that you see, that new characters that you saw in this show. And they're just there. You just don't know nothing about them. And that's technically the truth about Beerus, to me, Whis. And of course, Universe Survival arc, Kill Khalifa, no explanation. The Universe 11, all the universes, basically, no explanation. You just see them, and they just fight them and punch them, and that's it. There's no explanation. Then they throw in shit that basically makes no sense, and just throw in this at the last minute, and feel satisfied after that? No. Could have did this earlier. So, like I said, none of the stuff in Super was explained or nothing like that. It was just rushed and basically a cash cow for Toriyama. So, as for that, as we get to the conclusion, as I said, this is a conclusion video, the final episode of my thoughts on the Dragon Ball series. As what I see of Dragon Ball today. As to me today, Dragon Ball is used to be a product. It's not there to be protected or being like neutralized or nothing. It was there to be a freaking cash cow. And technically, that's what I see in TV shows and cartoon shows as today. And I'm gonna give you an example. SpongeBob is an example of that. As I actually saw what SpongeBob is today, and like, that's the reason why Nickelodeon is still alive, I guess, is SpongeBob. And that's very sad. So, as I see this, like, throughout the year of when Dragon Ball was in production, after Z, Toriyama wasn't really doing anything. Of course, he was saying he didn't do GT. Kinda, he actually did. He just did side stuff, wrote stuff in there, and just, that's it. And he really didn't do nothing. He just lived off his series, basically. Like, laying back on top of beds of money. And that's basically what he's been doing throughout the years. Then all of a sudden want to try to write another manga of something that never happened. Yeah, I'm gonna throw out stuff in it actually. The Jocko manga never who's Jocko? Okay, throw out a little story of Dragon Ball minus of making Goku like he's Superman. Then you have basically now bring out another movie, another Dragon Ball Z movie that we don't really know if just a random ass movie. Yo Son Goku Returns never became a thing. Plans to eradicate the Saiyans, that was unreleased as well. We didn't see it. Only way to see it is the game Raging Blast 2. But other than that, he lives off of Dragon Ball, and another example, Dragon Ball Heroes, is actually a thing that's kept in Japan that we can't see. And if imagine if Japan had that as a TV show, it probably would have been, I don't know, aka fan service thing, because in each thing that like, they films, like they actually fight the Z villains and movie villains and stuff like that. It's pretty cool concept in it, and people kind of hate on that too, but actually that's what Dragon Ball Super took this thing from. They took this from this. Beerus and Whis actually appeared in Dragon Ball Heroes, and they were never an actual character to know to be in Dragon Ball Z. And so technically, they were made up characters. So that's basically the truth about that. As I said, Beerus and Whis were made up characters. The Angel thing was made up character. Zeno thing was made up character. Grand Priest is a made up character because they were not even in Z. So that's how you know everything in Dragon Ball Super was made up. All that crap was nonsense. So as you see throughout that, then you want to come back to do Battle of Gods, and then a year later, here comes another movie, Resurrection F, become a freaking fan. It's actually a fan service movie. Then Super was leaked on the internet after Resurrection F, and then voila, here's Super, and then all it is just a product. It's all it is. It's just a product to be for toys, and yeah, sell toys of course, and make figures of characters from stuff. And according as I say, as you know, there will be a movie coming out in December. That's basically is actually under a Dragon Ball Super title, not Dragon Ball Z title, because the two movies were saying Dragon Ball Z, but it's Dragon Ball Super now. So other than that, it still won't be satisfying, you know, because people like hype over this. Like, wow, y'all hype over this movie that is not even out yet, and it's not even December yet. Nine months away, so it's no point. It won't be that great that you get so hype, you know. So yes, Dragon Ball Super is being used as a product, as basically as other series and stuff. Like I say, for example, SpongeBob, and I think Pokemon is too. Oh, who else? I think I forgot. Mario basically is too. Nintendo basically using Mario like a freaking cash cow, because every game is the same thing over and over again. Even their consoles are the same. Like, you know, when I ever talk about Nintendo, it's probably gonna be a video I'd be kind of hating on, you know. So overall, the Dragon Ball franchise it was used improperly throughout after Dragon Ball GT. It's being used as a product. Yeah, they probably made figures, but at least it was still better than what they're releasing now. yeah, they say SH figures the best thing in the world, and people, and I'm looking like, yeah, they making these figures, but they're not even meant to be a thing. Like, as I say, they're making that freaking figure of Goku Black. Oh my god. They even making a figure of freaking Jiren pretty soon. And they're gonna make a figure of freaking Kale and I think Kaba and oh my gosh, why are they making these characters? And like I said, that's what Secret is. Well, the franchise is right now as a product for people, for Toei and Toriyama, for as I say, and that's what Dragon Ball is today. It's just a product. So you guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this final video, final conclusion video. It's pretty truthful what Dragon Ball is today. It's very truthful, as I say to other companies at this time. You know, it's just they are used. When you create some, that's only as a expiration message. When you create something, don't sit back and use it as a clutch or a product. Care for it. You created it. Don't use it as a domain for yourself. When you create this item, this vision, this creation, take care of it. Not sit back and lay off of it. And that's basically what Toriyama is doing. He's laying off of this franchise like a cash of money. And technically that's what other creators doing too. Like, as I just gonna throw this in here, as SpongeBob right now, yeah, Steven Spielberg returns to the SpongeBob team after the freaking so-called second movie, Sponge Out of Water. I really don't like that movie. I like the first one more. And that's kind of dumb. You leave your series for almost what, 10 years, and then you want to come back and do something with it now? That is stupid. So yeah, that's another video to talk about if I ever talk about SpongeBob. But so yeah, that is the truth about Dragon Ball is a product. So like as my message, care for what you create. Don't lay back and lay on it and think it's and lay off of it and use it as a clutch. Care for it. Take care of it. Feel happy you create this item. Not lay away on it and think it and lay off of it and let it be used for something. You have to care for it. And technically that's what Toriyama is not doing. He just freaking using his masterpiece, as you so-called say, a cash cow. And money doesn't buy happiness. That's true. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and share. And check out the other videos in this series, of course. And after this video, pretty soon, there will be a review coming pretty soon, I hope. And that's what's going to come out after these videos get uploaded, of course. As you know, check out episode 6, part 1 and part 2. And hope you guys enjoyed this video, this final video, episode 7, the conclusion of the Dragon Ball series, and yeah. The next series actually I do plan on doing probably be Killer Instinct, or let me think. My next discussion thing, it'd probably be Mortal Kombat, I think. But yeah, I think it'll be Mortal Kombat. Well, which one would be better to do? I say Mortal Kombat because yeah, Killer Instinct will be a short one because there's only 3 games in the series, of course. But yeah, so probably Mortal Kombat. But after these videos, it's be figure reviews and stuff. And yeah, so that's pretty much it of this video of my thoughts on the Dragon Ball series episode 7, the conclusion of the series, and the truth behind the series of what it is to the core. And that is the truth about the series and about Toriyama. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time in a review, video review, I hope. And yeah, see ya and peace.